Hey YouTube, what's up? Zach here, coming at you with a deck profile. Now this is a fun deck, so it's not meant to be competitive. It's just kind of like a strategy. You know, come up with combos, bust them out, and then use like my favorite cards, which are spellcasters. So yeah, this is a Spellcaster Synchro deck. So lots of spellcasters, and then I also run a plant engine just to make the synchro summons easier to make. I'm also going to apologize in advance for any glare or anything. Kind of just rushing through this. I really wanted to show you guys, so had this idea one day and I figured I'd show it to you. So anyway, the deck starts out with one Dark Magician Girl, level 6, 2000 attack, so it works with Magician Circle, which is an engine for this deck. Next we've got a Cybernetic Magician. Cybernetic Magician is another level 6, 2400, kind of like beater. You get it out mostly with Magical Dimension. And then he also, his effect, lets you get over any beat sticks, essentially. Like if your opponent summons even a 5-headed dragon, then you just play a Cybernetic Magician, although it wouldn't work against 5-headed dragon now that I think about 5-headed dragon's effect. Anyway, it lowers the monster's attack to 2000 by you discarding a card. Another monster on the field, other than this one, or even this one. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, next we've got 2 Magician's Valkyria. You run this card pretty much for the off chance that you get the lock on. So that means that your spellcaster monsters cannot be destroyed by the battle, essentially. They can't even be targeted for attacks. Or you just run it to protect your monsters, since your opponent has to destroy this first. Next we've got 2 Magical Exemplar. This is another engine for the deck. It pretty much just lets you special summon like crazy. I run a lot of spells in this deck, so Exemplar builds up spell counters fast, and that's pretty much the main reason you run it. Looking for, I actually just bought another super one, so then I'll have 2. But yeah, that's not a big deal. So next we've got 3 Apprentice Magician. You pretty much use Apprentice Magician just to like stall the game, because this is a very slow deck, in my opinion, but then can come up with some nice big life point hits. So Apprentice Magician stalls, and then its effect also helps you build counters for Exemplar. So 3 Apprentice Magician. 1 Injection Fair Lily. Unfortunately, I only have the common. I traded my Ultra away a while ago. But yeah, you run 1 in case you use Magician Circle, which I'll show later. It's actually a really important card to this deck. It forces you and your opponent to essentially special summon a spellcaster. And since most decks are running Effect Veiler, your opponent will special summon Effect Veiler, and they're both in attack position. Then you special summon Fairy Lily, uses effect, and essentially hit your opponent for 34 direct. Next, 1 Flameville, just another target for Magician Circle. Search it out with Sangan. It's a tuner too, so 1 Flameville Magician. Next we've got 1 Dandelion. Now we're getting into the plant engine. We've got 1 Dandelion, Spore, Debris Dragon, and 2 Junk Synchron. I don't know, Junk Synchron aren't a big part of the plant engine, but Junk Synchron lets you use Apprentice Magician. It can target it. That's pretty much its only target in the deck, unfortunately. Well, there's a few more, but that's its main target, so you sync for 5 pretty easily. Spore, Debris Dragon, Dandelion, all part of the plant engine. If I got a Glow Up Bulb, I would probably run that too, and a Lone Fire Blossom. But right now, this is a pretty good synchro engine. You run a lot of tuners, and I would say you can sync up to like 4 times in 1 turn. Next, hand traps, we've got 1 Max C and double Veiler. Max C, in my opinion, is pretty obvious. Then Effect Veiler you can actually use as a spellcaster, so, I mean, it's pretty easy to bring out because you only need one spell counter on Magical Exemplar. And then you can also use it as a hand trap, and then it's also a tuner, so I actually sync with it a lot. It's really cool. Next we've got one Blackluster Soldier, because that makes every deck this format. One Gores, because Gores wins games, and a Sangan. Lonely Bamboo Panda thing. Alright, I don't know why I just said that, but who really cares? I mean, I don't. Next, we'll do spells, I guess. 2 Pot of Duality and a Pot of Avarice. Lots of cards in your graveyard. Plant Engine. You sink a lot. Avarice helps you recycle it. Then Duality, just early game. It also helps with consistency. Next, we have 3 Magical Dimension. Just, I mean, this is the main engine. If you don't know what this card does, you should really, I mean, look it up. Look up some strategies with it. Magical Dimension is like the main card for this deck, in my opinion. Just because it lets you pop a monster, special summon something bigger. It really gives spellcasters a lot of momentum. Next, we've got more plant stuff. Scapegoat, 1 for 1. Scapegoat really gets hurt by Max C. In fact, this entire deck gets hurt a ton by Max C. That's the only problem I have with Scapegoat, and then 1 for 1 is still a good card. Although I don't draw it too often. Next, we've got a Shrink, just because your monsters are not very big, and so this kind of helps level the playing field. Double Mystical Space Typhoon, no Heavy Storm in this deck, just because I needed room for other things. Yeah. Then the rest of them are also staples. We got Book of Moon, Monster Reborn, Darkhold. I might take out Book for Heavy Storm, but I do run a fair number of traps, so I don't know. Especially since most of the traps are very conditional. So for traps, we've got 2 Magician's Circle. Like I said, main engine for this deck. Good card. When a spellcaster monster attacks, at Attack Declaration, you activate this card and special summon another one. So I really like Magician's Circle. Next, we've got Solemn Brigade. Everybody knows what this does. If you don't, you should. I don't know. How would you not know? Are you sure you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh? Next, Mirror Force, Trap Dust Shoot. These are my last 2 traps. Mirror Force could maybe be taken out for something else, I don't know. And then Trap Dust Shoot, I just love this card right now, so I run those 2. I think that's a 42, maybe 43, I don't know. But it's in the 40s, low 40s, probably 42. So it's actually pretty high. I'd like to get it down to 41, 40-ish, maybe. But for now, I'm more than happy with it. Extra deck, I guess we'll go into. Level 10, we've got Shooting Star, just in case you like Monster Reborn, a level 2 tuner from your opponent, and you've got a Stardust, why not go into it? Mistworm, because I don't have Trishula, Stardust, Black Rose, Ancient Sacred Wyvern, Ancient Fairy Dragon. Now I might have to explain some of these. You go into level 7 a lot, in my opinion, so, because you have lots of level 3s, tuners, and then lots of level 4 monsters, and then you've also got level 4 monsters and level 3 tuners. I think I said that backwards. Anyway, the point is you make level 7 a lot. Ancient Sacred Wyvern you can do with Effect Veiler, and I really like that card, so I run it. You don't go into Mistworm that often, or Shooting Star, but then you go into level 8 a lot, so I should probably be running more level 8s, and I'll definitely think about that. That's 10 through 7. We've also got an Explosive Magician, Tempest Magician, Brionic, Catastor, Armory Arm, and I am proxying a Formula Synchron because I don't want to spend the $4 to $8 to get it right now. Explosive Magician, just because he's a 2500 beater. Tempest Magician, you can pretty much win a game just burning your opponent. Sorry about that, YouTube. My batteries died, so I don't know how much longer they're going to last. So I'm going to have to go quick. Anyway, I don't remember where I was, but Tempest Magician. You can pretty much win games on burn damage. I'm pretty sure I said that. So, yeah, you definitely run 1. With Exemplar, you can do lots of burn damage. Brionic, Staple, Catastor, another Staple, Armory Arm, because it's the only rank 4 that pretty much is worth making. And then I think it said Proxy Formula Synchron, Draw Power, Level 2 Tuner. Probably could go into Shooting Quasar when I get one. Next, we've got 3 cards left in the extra deck, and that's Chimera Tech if you side Cyber Dragon, so I just leave that open. Utopia, you've got lots of level 4s, especially with Exemplar, it's pretty easy to make Utopia. Leviathan, you don't go into that much, but in the off chance you need a 2500 beater, you've got it. So, that's the deck. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, you know, all that stuff down below. Thanks a lot. Hopefully you don't mind. Oh, wait. You know, forget it. Hopefully you don't mind the camera dying. But yeah, rate, comment, subscribe below.